seem to know. Ooh, oh, you're in cruise control. Don't wanna think of all the rules that you can pick and choose. I wanna make you feel like cover to the top. You talk about us like you want it. Talking like, ooh, we must need it. You don't seem to know, ooh, oh, you're in cruise control.
What's up, everybody? My name's Dan Turcott, and I'm the commercial director here at Monster Cat. What a year 2020's been, eh? But we made it, and we still managed to do a lot of cool stuff along the way. Honestly, one of the biggest things I realized this year is just how important it is to take the time to recharge your batteries. You know, for me, that's things like video calls with my friends and my family, and getting outside. So as we go into 2021, remember to be kind to yourself, and take the time that you need to do whatever it is to recharge yourself. All right, read a book, play games, call your friends, call your family, because we're all in this together. But I think more importantly, we're all
Welcome to the Boise State Esports Game Pants Arena. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joining you today for the Esports Tower Rumble, where talented all-star teams of Esports Tower take on some of the top high school teams across the nation. These talented Rocket League players will battle each week in a standalone bracket, and helping me call the action today is going to be Artie Rain. Welcome, Nerdy Bird. It is going to be great to have you calling the action along with me today. And I just want to toss it up in this opening question, because you, having joined esports as the collegiate program, this is, kind of a level beyond that. Not only is it high school esports, but it's people who might not be a member of a formal high school team, varsity team, being able to partner up with Esports Tower and form these community teams to compete at this high level. Just how would it have been different for you being able to engage much earlier than you did?
Okay, well, I have to start out by saying I probably would have never done band, and that kind of breaks my heart because the whole reason why I came to Boise State was because of the band program that we have established here. I was a part of Blue Thunder. I did color guard all throughout high school as well as robotics. However, if I had had this opportunity to play esports throughout my entire academic career in high school, possibly even middle school, who knows, by the end of COVID-19, it might be all the way to middle school. That'd be pretty fabulous. But with that in mind, I would have dedicated all of my free time to playing esports and just getting better and getting feedback from coaches, and having teammates to work around would have been so great. And I wouldn't have felt nearly as alone as I did being a gamer, and being so, at that time, at least, it was, oh my goodness, 8 years ago now. Oh boy, I feel
Wow.
old. Yeah, wow. Starting out high school 8 years ago, and just, every weekend at 9 o'clock at night, my friends and I on the internet would get together and play. Granted, I didn't know any of these people. We didn't communicate outside of the PlayStation Network, but had I had like an organized team with a coach, or at least a meetup time designated with people that I knew I'd be constantly working with, that would have just astronomically improved how much game knowledge I had coming into the collegiate scene. And I'm very envious of these students that have this opportunity.
Well, we will see how much game knowledge the competitors display in this Esports Tower Rumble, and here's how it's going to work. Each week, some of the best high school teams will join Esports Tower elite members in a standalone bracket. They will begin with group play with up to 4 groups of 3. 3, although this week it'll be a little bit different. They will play round robin in groups. The top teams will advance to the final bracket. Semifinals will be best of 3, and finals will be best of 5. As to the individual rules for each game, it'll be 5 minutes per game, best of 3 match, sudden death, golden goal, overtime. The team with the most goals wins. Obviously, we're not playing golf here. Default settings and standard arenas only, with the so no neon fields. That will be what we will be covering today in this Tower event. We have 7 teams that will be participating. 3 of them will be from the Esports Tower, talented stable of players. Teams will be the Red Wolves, the Red Barracudas, and the Red Vipers. And we can see there, the Red Wolves will be Team 1, Red Barracudas Team 3, and Red Vipers Team 4. And as for the high school teams that will be involved today, we will be having Southwest Miami High School Phantoms, Southeast High School Knowles, Bishop Kenny High School, and Antioch High School. First 3 are from Florida, and the last one, Antioch, will be from California. So a great stable of players from all across the country.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these teams have to bring to the table, especially because, as you mentioned, not all of these are organized quote-unquote school teams, and they are what, I guess in the standard sports sense, you would refer to as recreational league teams that are being brought in. But after all, you can never discount, especially because we don't have a full ranking system, so to speak, for the outside of academic-based esports yet for the younger audiences. You can't underestimate what these teams will be bringing to the table.
Well, we will get a small preview of what the teams can bring to the table because we are going to show you a match that didn't quite make the final bracket, but we wanted to show you an outstanding couple of minutes from a match from Bishop Kenny and the Southeast Knowles, just to give you an idea what we can look forward to the last minute in regulation for their match. You can see here it was just a little bit snowy, kind of matching the current weather patterns that we are having here currently, getting to that match as soon as we can. But as you could see with the timer 1-1, it was very close. So even at lower levels, we can see a lot of great competition being brought up.
Yeah, and the one thing to keep in mind is that Rocket League, though, yes, it is RC cars with booster rockets, it is still standard soccer. And I'm not trying to minimize how hard Rocket League is, but I'm referencing it to soccer because that's what I know best. And when you play soccer, the best games are often a single score differential game where you have a 1-1 tied game for a very, very long time, and then even before you even hit shootout, hopefully, you've run out the clock, and it ends up being a 1-2 score game. That's what you like to see in a good soccer match. That means there was equal aggression coming from both sides, and the offensive and defensive skills of both teams were very equally matched, and that's what we hope to see for the remainder of this tournament.
Well, let's take a look at the bracket for this tournament to see. As we can see, we are going to be going right to the top 4, seeing the Red Barracudas Team 3 going up against the Southwest Miami. It looks like that can be one of the first matches that we can look forward to. But as we get ready for the first match, we also want to remind our friends on Twitch to celebrate your team, celebrate the success, but also be responsible to other fans, because we do have mods that patrol and keep order as it is in the Wild West of the Twitch chat. About Esports Tower, though, let's find out a little bit more about Esports Tower, their organization, and what it's all about. Alrighty, now let's take a look at the first matchup in the Esports Tower Rumble. Continental Rumble Coast to Coast is going to be Bishop Kenny High School taking on Antioch High School. So two high school teams. One of the things that I liked about, that overview is, of course, that organizations like these do allow collegiate programs to take a look at new and upcoming talent. So not only is it just kind of the match today that is on the line, but also giving a good impression to others, which we are going to hop right into. And this is going to be the last minute, actually, with both teams tied 1-1. And as we go toward the 50-second mark, we can see DNL here for Bishop Kenny. They're going to be taking it towards the middle of the field as Not Juicy comes in around the corner, plays it around the corner, grabs the 100 boost as Lean tries to stop him, but he doesn't make it, and is going to find the goal right there. Not Juicy with a great goal, putting Southeast at a small lead with 41 seconds left.
41 seconds, though, we've seen multiple goals come out of that amount of time, especially if they're kickoff goals. Thankfully, this 1v1 at the center point managed to go in favor of side of blue, so Bishop Kenny has the full throttle assault going, but there's going to be a return, and DNL's trying to corral it down. Same with Ultra, and they have a shot on a clear goal, and it's going to go in, so now the game is tied 2-2, and we have a little bit more than 20 seconds remaining. I hope to see a kickoff goal here soon.
Well, here comes the kickoff. DNL is going to get the better of that, but here comes Potato. Trying to with the pass to Not Juicy, is going to miss it as it goes to the side. Potato picks up the 100 boost, and Ultra now is going to try to interfere with that ball as Lean pushes it off to the side, trying to find some sort of big clear. With 5 seconds left, though, when the ball hits the ground, we will be going to overtime and sudden death.
Overtime, sudden death, all of that is very nerve-wracking. It's golden goal at that point, so these guys are going to be definitely trying to get this kickoff goal or get the ball more in favor on their side. We see Ultra win that first touch. It's going into a clear goal. No one's there for the ball, but there was, despite the demolition that came out. So that is going to be the end of that first game, and I'm still going to count that. I'm going to say that's a kickoff goal.
Yeah, I would say that's a kickoff goal. That was all at the beginning, kind of serendipitous almost for you to kind of mention the kickoff goal, and then for it to be the deciding factor in the first match there. So that is just kind of a preview of what we have looking in our first match. That was Bishop Kenny versus Antioch High School. But as with any match, we have to look at, let's just say, the pep talk that a coach gives before the game. And what better coach to give some advice than our own Doc Haskell, who provides us with Doc's keys to the game before every match. In Rocket League, that's going to be play fast, maintain your side control, have confident callouts, and lay those demos. Doc's keys to the game brought to you by Esports Tower. You can improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. You can score Pro advice at esportstower.com. And those are going to be Doc's keys to the game. And it brings up some of the general topics that we can talk about in these matches, which is going to be side control, shot pressure, looking for those great big clears. But also, I'm wondering to see how the aerial play plays out, because certainly someone who looks at kind of our collegiate level teams, when you look at, Ace Pocket and Cosmo Buster and all the other team members that we have on our Rocket League teams, they can be so good with that mid-air dance that having the ability to make those plays but also disrupt them can be a big factor.
Yeah, I can confidently say that I can't pull off any of the aerial plays, and have definitely had some players mention to me that when we do our House Cup production versus Rocket League, at least in Rocket League for production, that if I'm playing, the ball is never going to be touching the ground. And that made me very sad and basically told me I was going to get stomped by my own players, but that is okay.
Well, you are watching the first match in this Esports Tower Rumble. It's going to be Bishop Kenny versus Antioch High School. Give you a little information of the background of these teams. Bishop Kenny is a private college preparatory co-educational Catholic high school in Jacksonville, Florida, located and administered in the Roman Catholic Diocese of St. Augustine. Founder was Joseph Patrick Hurley, established in 1952. And whether it's 1952 or 2020, our teams are not going to let us get a word in edgewise, as the first goal is scored right off the bat.
that first goal came out from Ultra. It was very well handled, but I'm excited to see what else they have coming out right at this first kickoff. Looks like it's going to go more in favor of the side of Kenny Esports, and Orange is managing to get the ball onto the side of Blue. We've got some fancy aerial work happening, and Lean's going to try to bounce the ball back, but it's not going to be enough, so they're going to have DNL follow that one up. They're keeping the pressure onto the Blue side a lot, so that side control is definitely something that Dog brought up in those keys to the game that is being utilized right now by the side of Kenny Esports. And now they've got ball in their possession, and it is at the midfield, but Ultra's not going to be able to maintain possession of it.
And now as we head on to 4 minutes, 19 seconds left, we see Twixie here from Antioch is going to be facing the ball right there. Bishop Kenny still with the early lead there, and we will get back to that. Just to kind of finish up kind of the background I was given of Bishop Kenny, founded in 1952 following the merger of 3 previous Catholic high schools in the Jacksonville area. It was named in honor of William John Kenny, 3rd Bishop Diaconese of St. Augustine. So a lot of history that can play, that comes into play from each of these schools. And that's something that can be, forgotten kind of, is each school has its own unique history.
I was shocked at it's a school that was created out of the merging of 3 schools, which to me either says that this is a gigantic private school, which I did grow up by one. I grew up by Gonzaga Preparatory High School, and there is one here as well called Bishop Kelly High School, but just the idea that it was 3 combining kind of blew my mind. I really want to know more about this school after hearing that.
Well, not to exclude Antioch High School. That is a public high school located in Antioch, California, United States. It's located at 700 West 18th Street between G and L Streets. It's a comprehensive high school for grades 9 through 12 with about 120 teachers and 20 maintenance and office staff. The administration consists of a principal, 4 vice principals, and departments at the school include English, math, physical education, earth, life sciences, social study, vocal and instrumental music, video, photographic, sculpted, painted, and drawn arts, foreign languages, health and sports medicine, auto and woodshop, and engineering. So definitely a whole lot to be done at both of these schools from 2 different sides of the country, but each with a very unique story to tell.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Probably have way better stories that they can tell than what I had in my high school experience.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you have some great band stories that you would like to share.
Oh, yeah, but we could save those for another time. Let's tell the story of this game that we got going on right here as we're going into another kickoff. We've got a little over 4 minutes on the clock, and Kenny Esports already has 2 goals scored in less than 1 minute.
And now we see Leem is going to almost get a shot on goal, jumps off the right post, but he follows it up, is going to find the 3rd for Bishop Kenny.
In this replay, I think he got, shot on goal was coming. I think this is, it's not Ultra, so that's DNL on this side, and then Leem came in with the follow-up. That was beautiful.
And now we head on to the next kickoff. Antioch finding their work cut out for them as the ball's going to be in the center, but Ultra is right there to cheat it out. Continue the push up the side, is now going to try to center it up for Lean to come right in off the left post. Not going to find that one. And now it is up to Antioch to try to find some sort of big clear. And now here comes Clutch, trying to get a clutch save for his team, but is not going to find it as Ultra continues with another shot on goal up above off the crossbar.
Unfortunately, Twix was trying to be there for that save, but did not have enough boost. That's something that we've discussed before, is that boost starving when you are on the defensive. You need to make sure that you are the ones that have the control of that. But this demolition that's going to come out from Twix right here is going to put them in a slight advantage to try and get the ball back on the side of Blue. But only Lux is looking like they're keeping fair game and fair control of this goal right now.
3 minutes left in the match. Ball in the center as Twixie tries to push it up. Ball still finding some interference there from Bishop Kenny. And now DNL is going to drive it down the field. Twixie there with the save is going to push it off toward the corner with the center from DNL coming in. Leem is going to find it, getting them to a 4-0 lead.
Okay, so as we're watching this replay, in the left corner from, okay, not left corner now, to the left of Lean's perspective over here, there's actually a demolition coming out from Blue onto Orange. And that is something that you want to keep in mind, is that metered aggression. Was that demolition worth it, or should you have done the double team on that one opponent that had the clear shot on goal right there?
Yeah, those demos can definitely give a good advantage, especially if you're just trying to make some sort of shot on goal in that one moment. Being one member down can make all the difference. And now the clear is going to come through from Bishop Kenny off over into Antioch's corner as Clutch now pushes it off toward the side where Ultra meets it in mid-air, trying to center it up. Twixie tries to get the save but falls down mid-air, and now Liam is going to keep the play alive with the pass over to DNL, and now here comes the other centering, but some nice disruption there from Clutch is going to push it all the way back to Bishop Kenny's goal.
That was an open goal. I was very afraid that it was going to go in, but we had Liam jump up just in time to try and knock it away, and we had a 1-1 headbutt over on the right side, clearing open the goal for Twist right there.
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Twist there. DNL just a little bit too late. That's going to even it up just a little bit, make it 4-1 with 2 minutes left. Not out of the question for Antioch to come back as Liam and Clutch charge towards the ball. Liam gets the better of that. Now Ultra pushes it toward the goal, centers it up, but just a little bit too high, so it's going to head back over toward the corner. And one thing I'm a little nervous seeing from Antioch right now is not a lot of boost from them. And their Love picks up a little, but it's not going to be enough. A little too late as Ultra finds the goal.
At the end of the day, that boost is a resource you need to make sure you're managing and keeping up. And unfortunately for the side of Antioch, they are not keeping on top of that. Their boost starving needs to become a little bit up on their priority list to shut down the side of BK right now.
And overall in the kickoffs, I'd be willing to say, if I remember correctly, the kickoffs have been going more in the favor of Bishop Kenny on a consistent level, and that just kind of early gets them a little bit of side control and helps them dictate the match in those few seconds after the kickoff. And they have been great on the side control thus far, but Twisted tries to change that, and certainly does with the clear, following up with the shot on goal. All done by him. You can see the second bounce up there did both the clear and the kick into the goal. That's got to be a good pat on your back. You're your own assist.
Yeah, I mean, just do it again 3 more times and you'll tie us up in 1 minute and 16 seconds as we got this first kickoff going. Once again, more in favor of BK Esports, and we've got Lean with a shot on goal, but it's just going to go wide, so that's going to give Twisted an opportunity to corral it down, send it down to the mid, but Ultra's just going to swoop in and bounce it to the side over to Lean into a technically open goal, but there's just not enough momentum behind that ball to go in. DNL's trying to corral it down on the side, but we've got double commits coming out from the side of Antioch High School to try and get the ball in their possession. They finally got it over that center point, but it looks like Ultra's just going to send it right back to the side of blue.
And now 40 seconds left in the match. Antioch needs to make some sort of big play here as the clear is looking. Love trying to find the clear but isn't able to get it. DNL now passes it back, is going to center it up and actually find just the right angle to get the goal, bringing it to 6-2.
I'm going to take a closer look at this because I don't know how that swooped it. What? Okay, that was I don't know, the physics were a little wonky on that one. It bent more in favor of, obviously, the orange team, but that was clean.
It's very tidy, I would say. That's a nice, tidy shot there. As Love is going to try to clear it out, Lean blocks him right there, and now Twixie comes in, drives up the corner, is now going to center it up, and Love had the right idea trying to follow it up, but the defense from Bishop Kenny was just a little bit too fast.
It looks like for the side of Antioch High School, their approach right here is to more or less go with double on defense and then try and give Twixie the opportunity to go offensively with the ball and then follow it up with only one person leaving the goal and leaving the goal with one person behind, which is good for them to keep their defense still padded in that sense.
Well, you are watching the Esports Tower Rocket League tournament right now. You can level up your mechanics awareness ranking with a top-tier coach, committed teammates, and learn more about all of that at Esports Tower Rocket League clubs at esportstower.com. And so Bishop Kenny taking on a great kind of victory there against Antioch High School. And they just showed, I think that they were very good in their opening kickoffs. They almost consistently, I don't remember a kickoff really going in favor of Antioch. It was either Bishop Kenny all the way or a 50-50, which Bishop Kenny really followed up early on and doing a great job in the side control.
I really wish we had the opportunity to hear the comms of our players from time to time, just to hear how they're syncing up their rotations and communicating with one another, because at least for the side of BK Esports, they had a lot of aggression and there was a lot of momentum keeping the ball on the side of blue. That side control, it's very important, as Doc mentioned in the keys to the game, as well as the fact that they were chronically keeping their boosts up throughout the entire course of the match. There was very rare chances where I saw more than one player on the side of BK with low boost, whereas on the other side with Antioch High School, we, as you mentioned, at least one time out loud, they had no boost. And so you got to keep in mind that it's a resource that you need to be constantly, refilling.
Yeah, the boost management is a big part of the game, but those kickoffs, like I'm saying, Ultra almost getting a goal right off the bat. And Antioch just kind of has to take a quick breath and keep going. And you see Love right there with the boost was up there toward the goal, but has to go off toward the side to pick up that boost. If you don't have that boost, that severely limits your aerial plays, the way that you can quickly do defense. We often see, if there's a shot on goal and you don't have any boost, we often see just kind of a characteristic underjump from that player, just trying to reach up and not being able to get it. So it's not only just managing your own boost, but also, as we'll see, if you're on the offense and you're in the other team's territory, stealing that boost away from them, the 100 boost in the corners, can really hamper their ability to counter you.
Yes, boost starving on defense and offense. You got to keep that in mind. You cannot leave that open resource pack for your enemy to grab if you yourself could utilize it. Just take it away from them.
Yeah, take it away from them, and to Bishop Kenny, just keep scoring goals, because that just seems to be the consistent pattern for them. If we were to believe that we were seeing a game there, that would have been either the second or third game, meaning that Bishop Kenny, they only need to win one more to be able to advance to the next stage in the tournament and take on one of the Esports Tower Rumble players. And we can see there in Group A, Bishop Kenny was in it along with the Red Barracudas and Southeast Gaming Knolls. Group B is going to have two Esports Tower teams, along with Southwest Miami Esports and Antioch High School. Now, I'll be curious to see how the Esports Tower Rumble teams do, considering all the resources that Esports Tower gives to you in terms of professional coaching.
Yeah, honestly, utilize that. The VOD review is something that I feel is underutilized a lot, but in these situations where you have an opportunity for a third person, well, I'm going to say fourth person because these are our 3v3s, to evaluate your gameplay and get feedback, that is something that, not every program even has available yet. So hopefully that will shine through, at least that work that they've put through those VODs, the little things that they've tweaked are, coming through and shining through for these teams, even if they don't finish out on top.
But even if you don't have a professional coach, taking the initiative to either record your matches or just look back in game, at some big plays you made or something, just reviewing any footage of gameplay that you yourself are able to get can really make a difference. A lot of these games, already have kind of recording in them for you to take a look back at past matches. So just using the official tools available to you can be a great way to improve yourself.
Yes, and it's never a coaches or even an evaluator or us. When we say these things, it's never an attack on your gameplay or your skill. It is simply us telling you what we're seeing and giving you feedback on it.
Well, as we get back to that match of Antioch versus Bishop Kenny, it is still scoreless, and that is going to change right away as Liam gets the first goal, pushing Bishop Kenny into the early lead.
It looks like that first goal took a little bit longer than what we've seen previously, though. As we could see on the clock, it was under the 4-minute mark, so that does mean that for the side of Antioch, their defense was definitely a lot stronger coming out because they held off that first goal for well over a minute, as this first kickoff goes once again in favor of Bishop Kenny, and Ultra is going to try and corral the ball down, but we've got Love over there also trying to take that 1v1 as well, and Lutch is also going to get that clear into the mid over to the side of Orange, but DNL is going to be able to pass it back.
And now Ultra with another shot on goal is going to find it, pushing Bishop Kenny up to the lead. The 2-0 lead as DNL got the clear, and the great aerial play and teamwork from Bishop Kenny is really something that we're seeing kind of from them exclusively in this match.
All right, going into this next kickoff, I'm going to be specifically focusing on the side of Antioch High because I want to be watching what they are doing.
Well,
never mind, there's a
not
kickoff
give
goal
you a chance.
anyway. What? What?
They're not even
give me a
gonna
moment to do anything, Liam.
Yeah, they are just going to continue steamrolling right through this match. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. We're going to see if these kickoffs. Are you going to do another kickoff goal?
No,
okay,
okay.
Clutch comes through there with the save.
We have DNL passing the ball aerially over to Ultra and is also going to be able to receive the pass back from Ultra. However, we have Twixie waiting in the goal, able to get it into the mid. Ultra's going to try to jump up and stop it, but that's going to go in, and that's going to be a first goal score for this match for Antioch High.
And it really has been Twixie that has been coming through for Antioch, the one that I've been seeing the most, I believe, getting most of the clears.
And that is not a bad thing to have happen. Having someone that you know can frontline very well, can play into your advantage. It's just a matter of these other two players on Twixie's team being able to facilitate and make sure that they are ready and in position for the offensive attack coming out from BK Esports. As we do see Ultras now down in the corner on the side, on their own side, trying to get this ball cleared out. And it looks like Ultras finally getting it into the middle, but both Only and Love are waiting down there, corralling the ball down in the corner. But Liam is jumping over and just misses the ball. DNL is also going to hit it off the crossbar, and right now it's kind of just a free-for-all on this ball.
Love is going to come through with the clear. Twixie now going to continue to try to push it up. Actually ran into some interference, so the ball is back toward where Love is. Unfortunately, Love's a little bit low on boost, so Twixie's going to have to come through with a fresh tank of boost and continue the clear as the ball gets played over Twixie. Now Ultra is fine for it. Actually, DNL is going to come in right above him and take the ball and now try to center it as Ultra tries to do a shot, but it gets pushed off toward the left.
I don't know what's happening for the side of Bishop Kenny Esports right now, but we're seeing a lot of triple commits that we did not see earlier coming out from them. I feel like something got in their water. Never mind, as I say that, Ultra is going to make me eat my own words and score a goal anyway. But like I said, there's a lot of triple commits coming out from the side of Bishop Kenny right now. And if Antioch can capitalize on that, they have the opportunity to flip this game around and go on the offensive a lot faster if the side of Bishop Kenny does not clean up here soon.
And now the kickoff once again goes in the favor of Bishop Kenny. Love is going to find the clear. Now Ultra tries to push it back up the field where it meets in the center where Liam is, but nice going there from Clutch is going to keep the side control going for Antioch, but not for long as Ultra comes in. Might trying to pick up that corner boost, but it is cleared once again. So the clear's coming through a lot more for this particular match. However, Antioch needs to turn those into goals and soon because we only have 90 seconds left in this match.
The ball's going down towards the corner on the side of Orange. We've got Lean bringing it up into the air to try and juggle it over the side of Blue to his teammate Ultra, who's waiting on the side. But we have DNL also pushing up into goal, and that's an open shot goal for Lean, and that is now going to bring them up to 5 with Antioch at 1. We have just over a minute remaining. If Antioch can get a couple of kickoff goals or just get that kickoff in their favor and slow down the momentum of this match, we still have the opportunity to see them come back.
And we really didn't see anyone at back post for that particular goal, so the positioning for Antioch might be a little bit problematic. We saw someone kind of at the front post there, but had left it clear open for that shot on goal. So looking at those positioning and then those rotations can make all the difference. And now as we go 1 minute left in this match, Bishop Kenny finding themselves with a commanding lead.
They do have a commanding lead, but however, the ball is on their side of the field, and Love is putting the pedal to the metal right now, trying to keep the ball out of their possession. We do see Twix also come in, snag that boost behind Love, but Liam's going to say no and drop in and try to toss it out, but DNL is also going to save that ball and toss it back. Liam and Ultra are just trying to ping-pong this ball back and forth, but when it going into the air, Love is going to be able to toss it over to the midfield. But DNL once again is there to knock it back down and keep the ball in the possession of Orange. However, Lean's now got a clean shot on goal, and it's in. So that is bringing BK up to 6 with 21 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and that just kind of goes to show that miss rotation there from Antioch had basically all their members up with no one hanging back and leaving those open goals. Bishop Kenny is one of those teams that is going to punish you if you do not have someone back there ready to do some defense. So just a little bit of overcommitting from Antioch. They are going to score 1 goal, though.
So what happened is at that 50-50 kickoff, Orange overestimated their ball control here, and Love capitalized on that and managed to get that goal. Beautifully done. They technically almost had an open net. I'm going to say that that third person was outside the goal box right there.
But another kickoff to quickly make up for that is going to push it firmly into anti-Ox territory as we see the demo come through there. But that probably is not going to do that much of a difference as the clock ticks down 2-1. As long as the ball stays in the air, the clock keeps going. So Bishop Kenny is just going to let that ball be grounded and advance to the next finals of this. The Esports Tower event in Rocket League. Congratulations to Bishop Kenny. Moving on to the next round.
And who is their opponent?
Well, we will find out soon enough and in this event. But right now, we just want to talk a little bit more about Esports Tower, the organization that is bringing all of this to you. You can level up your mechanics, awareness, and ranking with a top-tier coach and committed teammates. Learn more about Esports Tower, Rocket League clubs at esportstower.com. So now let's take a look at the current state of the game to answer your question, Nerdy, on what are the overall standings of this tournament. We're going to bring up the bracket right now, and you can see right there, Bishop Kenny was able to beat Antioch, so they will be moving on to the finals. But the next match we are going to be having is the Red Barracudas versus Southwest Miami Esports. So now we're going to be able to see what Esports Tower brings to the field.
Okay, so the one thing I want to mention here is that next to that Red Barracudas, we also see it's Team 3. So they have more than one team in this tournament. And I just want to point out that even though it's, quote, 3, does not mean anything for their skill level. And we can expect, honestly, this to be a great game, in my opinion.
It's a game that we are looking forward to and will come up right after this short break. So stick around because match 2 in the Esports Tower Rocket League match is going to be coming up right after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
This broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble, broadcasting to you from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've seen the results of the previous semifinals, and now we move on to the next match that we were looking forward to, which is going to be the Red Barracudas versus Southeast Miami Phantoms. The event tonight, as we said earlier, is the Esports Tower Rumble Rocket League Tournament High School Competition. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artemis Nerdy Bird, Rain, and the overall standings. We're going to see how we got here and just the overall state of the bracket. We can see the last match that we saw was going to be Bishop Kenny Esports versus Antioch, and how they won in the semifinals to push themselves off to the next match. And now we are going to see what happened on the other side of the bracket, the Red Barracudas versus the Southeast Miami Esports. And is there overall anything that jumps out to you here in this overall bracket that we see?
Overall, the things that are jumping out to me is the abundance of red that I am seeing. I know that sounds strange, but that's the first thing I noticed, is that we had the Red Barracudas, the Red Vipers, and the Red Wolves. And I understand that this is the Esports Tower teams, but are we sticking with this color coding of red? Are all y'all always going to be red? Can we get some like light red and call it, pink?
There are many different colors, you could, one could be crimson, fuchsia,
I
pink.
feel like all we ever do is like orange versus blue or black versus white, red versus blue, and I'm like, where's the pink?
There were plenty of other names, bring in stuff like chartreuse or something, liven it up just a little bit. But we are looking toward the second match, which is going to be the best of three semifinals, which is going to be going up against one of the Esports Tower team, the Barracudas versus the Phantoms. And overall, in what we can look forward to for this match, I'm going to be looking forward to seeing, first off, how well all of this promotion we're going to be seeing from Esports Tower in their professional coaching that they offer to these community teams is going to come through, because that's the thing you got to keep in mind. This is not Team 3, which is the Barracudas, is not a high school varsity team. It's a community team.
For not being a varsity team, they seem to be holding up just fine against the Phantoms, as we are just under the 4-minute mark, and we have 3 goals already. I'm going to say one was probably a kickoff goal because they were scored so quickly. We do see Yeezy over here trying to corral this ball down in the corner on their side of the field, so they've got to get a clean clear, but it doesn't look like any of their teammates are really available, as we see a slight double commit happen, but there's not enough follow-up coming out for the blue side right now. Never mind. I can eat my words. There was someone out of my field of view that came swooping in from the right side for the Barracudas, and that will be their 4th goal.
Yeah, Jockstrot, that's the 3rd goal for him that's going to be credited for this match. And Yeezy not doing too bad themselves, getting themselves 3 goals thus far. So both kind of playing off each other to help the team get up to this overall advantage. And right now, Huiz is going to go right toward the goal, not going to be able to find it, as the Phantoms are struggling for any sort of defense here, not getting any sort of clear thus far. Jockstrot is just going to continue with another shot and is going to find it.
So you brought this up earlier, and it was the aerial play that is, this kind of the signifier of the level of difference with your game control, your ball control, and your ability to control your boost. And we're seeing a lot of that come out right now from the side of the Barracudas, and it does not seem like the Phantoms are too ready to deal with that on their own side.
Now they have managed to try to get some sort of goal here, as Queasy is going to go off toward the side. It is centered up, and Jockstrot trying to come in there to score the goal. Isn't going to find it, and actually Toxicity is trying to look for some sort of clear. There comes one out from Plasma, and that's kind of got to be the thing that the Phantoms are focusing on right now, is just trying to get those big clears to try to turn into some sort of goals, because the side control is this bad against you, and the Barracudas are being so dominant. You just have to make sure that, 1, you're not bunching up around the ball in a double or triple committing, and 2, you just got to try to focus on the clears one step at a time.
Unfortunately, they're not getting a lot of these clear opportunities that they are wanting to have. as I'm saying this, we do see Yeezy score another goal, and that is just because for the side of the Barracudas, their rotations are very clean, and they're making sure that they are not leaving more than the midfield section open, and they are able to drop back fast enough to prevent an easy goal-scoring opportunity for the side of the Phantoms, as the ball is more on the side of the Barracudas right now, but we do see Queasy is able to get it knocked over towards the orange goal, and it looks like Plasma's going to be able to knock it back, but Yeezy once again coming in through the mid with the help of Plasma is going to score another goal.
And now 1 minute 45 seconds left in the match. The ball is in the center. LV3 comes up to try to follow up the kickoff. But they aren't necessarily going to find the best clear right now as Queasy tries to clear it up, but some great interference there from Toxicity is going to keep it off in the corner. But now they need to try to center it up, and both of them, we kind of saw a little bit of a double commit right there. They're just, some members of the Phantoms just kind of stuttering a little in the middle of the field. Meanwhile, Yeezy here is just going to be able to drive it and center it up for Jockstrot to come, and there's the difference you see in the rotations and teamwork there.
Right before that goal was scored, we actually saw from the side of the Phantoms a double commit within the goal to try and make up for the open goal score opportunity that had just occurred. So that comes down to your communication and making sure that your rotations are clean. And that's something that will be cleaned up in VOD review for sure, as we do see Yeezy once again with this ball in the mid. And we've got one more arcing over, trying to tap the ball in. It just doesn't cross all the way, and it finally does. And that's going to be another goal for the side of the Barracudas.
And now the ball is in the center as the kickoff doesn't go toward either team, but Yeezy quickly changes that up with the pass over to Jockstrot toward the shot on goal, and it is diverted, though not in the cleanest way, as a lot of the members were bunched up around the goal right there. And the ball kind of slowly gets cleared off toward the Barracuda side of the field. And now Queasy is going to be able to find the clear over to where LV3 was, I believe, to be able to stop that from going through.
We're seeing a lot of pass back and forth from Jockstrot and Yeezy right now happening at the midfield. On the side of the orange, I do see, however, they're trying to slow down the possession from the blue team as much as they possibly can, but in doing so, they're double committing on this ball and leaving the goals open in more cases than they should be.
Now Yeezy is going to be off in the corner. Jockstrot coming in to get yet another goal, driving it to 11-0. Double-digit score for this round. This is rough to watch.
That's okay. Keep in mind that this is not a single round type of game. We do have more than one match that these teams have to go through. And so it could be for the side of the Phantoms just taking a moment to slow down their own gameplay and analyze what's happening more to play into the next match better.
And for that first match, it's going to be going over to a decisive victory for the Barracudas in this match in best-of-3 semifinals. So, like you said, Nerdy, it is a break between the matches, so score gets completely reset. You don't have to worry about that double-digit lead anymore. And the main thing I would say to improve is just that communication, because I'm just seeing too much bunching up and too many double commits coming out now from the Phantoms.
I totally understand that the comms aren't nearly as hot as they are in Overwatch. They aren't in Rocket League. They aren't as hot as they are in Overwatch, where you feel like there's constant streams of information happening in the Overwatch comms. Whereas in the Rocket League comms, just simply letting your teammates know where you are and what you're planning to do can help out a lot.
And this is the Esports Tower Rumble between the Barracudas and the Phantoms. Barracudas coming out to an early lead in this best-of-3 semifinals to see who will go on toward the grand finals for this week's Rocket League Rumble. And now as we head into the second match, it not only is the general communication, but also, I gotta say, I just think the general skill level is a bit higher on the Barracuda side in terms of aerial play. And right there, a demo is going to come out off of the kickoff. And now Yeezy is going to go with a pass over toward Jockstrot. And now look here, see that aerial play and the angle that they are able to get. We just aren't kind of seeing the same sort of gameplay coming out from the Phantoms.
Yeah, but we've got LXB, who's been showing a lot of signs of life on their offensive ability. If Plasma is able to line up a shot, or even Toxicity here to help out, just, play into each other's strengths and not go for being the solo carrier of the game, you can really come out on top here, as we do see this kickoff go in favor of the side of the Barracudas once again. But Liv is waiting in the goal and not letting them score that early kickoff. However, just not enough boost in their reservoir in order to prevent that one from going over their head. Once again, that resource is very important. Make sure your gas tank is not empty or you're going to stall out on the side of the road.
And now Queasy is trying to center it up for Jockstrot, who is waiting in the center, now rotates in to try to contend with this ball that LXV3 has managed to push all the way back over toward the Barracuda's goal. So now a bit of side control for the Phantoms as they look to try to turn this into a goal. In rotates LXV3 with Plasma waiting behind for the assist, but is going to get beaten to the ball in mid-air. And now the clear comes through for the Barracudas. Queasy now is going to pick up at the boost in the side and just pop it off, but not get the right angle, and just misses the goal there.
That would have been a very beautiful goal to score. They just did not quite have the right angle or the right kind of gyroscope touch that you can sometimes get here in Rocket League. But obviously they're lining themselves up for another one very quickly right here. We are seeing that the boost control, however, coming out from the side of the Phantoms is a lot higher than it was. They're managing to keep this ball in play a lot longer than we saw in the previous rounds. Once again, Liv is trying to corral this ball down. However, they're going to lose out on that boost. We do see Jockstrot also on the other side with no boost. So lots of teammates not being able to follow you up when you aren't utilizing your resources enough can be your undoing, as we see this ball go up, but is going to be saved by Queasy, but Jockstrot's going to come in and just slam that ball in for another goal.
And now we have a little bit over 3 minutes left in the match with a 3-0 lead for the Barracudas. And now Plasma finds himself under the ball, trying to get a save there. And a very scary shot on goal from the Barracudas is not going to find it through. And watch out here, and look at all the members there just kind of finding themselves bunched up, trying to get some sort of communication. And that is a nice clear from LXV3 as Yeezy comes in now, is going to try to center it up. But look at there, another double commit there from the Phantoms.
That double commit can be their undoing because they don't have enough available options for a pass back or someone to at least get the ball, send it to the other side of the map, and be on the side of the Barracudas right here. As we do see, they have one of their players constantly at the midfield, making sure that the ball is not easily tossed back so they can maintain that side control, and they're also keeping their spacing very wide in order to keep as many options open as possible, as we see basically a triple commit come out on the goal right there from the side of the Phantoms.
Yeah, and look at the dividends that played out for them that we just saw. Even though a goal wasn't scored there in that last drive, we basically had room for all three members of the Barracudas to get a shot on goal as each kind of rotated in and out of each other. And now a fourth goal is going to come through there for the Barracudas, pushing them up to a solid lead, and a little bit of a shot on kickoff is going to be stopped by V3 from the Phantoms. And now Plasma driving up the side is going to try to contend with the ball, finds an open goal, and that is going to be quickly taken advantage of by the Phantoms, and that could be the crucial first step in clawing their way back.
I don't know if you noticed, but the Phantoms didn't even engage on the kickoff. They just waited for it to come over to their side and sent it back and went on the offensive, and that is a very viable move to do, but you got to keep in mind that goals can be scored off kickoff so easily that sometimes just leaving it and just choosing to be defensive as opposed to trying to get control of that ball can not always be the most important thing to be doing.
And now with 1 minute 20 seconds left, ball finds itself in front of the Phantoms goal again as the side control has been dominantly in favor of the Barracudas as Queasy now goes mid-air. LXV3 comes in and is able to stop that mid-air, and two demos coming out onto the field. And now Plasma, just almost, if he kind of had the right angle there, might have been able to get a shot on that goal, but now LXV3 is going to come and rotate in. Now needs to try to center it up, but is not going to be able as Jockstrot beats him to it, and a nice save there from Toxicity is going to keep the ball in the center of the field. And we are seeing a bit more life from the Phantoms right now and a bit more of some cleaner rotations.
Yeah, maybe they opened up their comms or their coach gave them a pep talk between the rounds because their rotations have drastically improved. Not quite enough to present that goal coming out from Yeezy once again, but you know, you don't always have to celebrate how the game finishes, but the process that you went through to get there. And honestly, just seeing slight improvement is always great, especially in the heat of the moment. And right now, the ball is on the side of the Phantoms once again, and we have all 3 members of the side of the Barracudas right now committing on this ball at the goal, but it looks like even with the clear, it's not going to be enough to prevent it from leaving the side of orange.
And now 15 seconds left in the match, and the Barracudas only need those 15 seconds to advance onto the finals. I don't know if they would try to pour on any more of a lead right now. It's just going to let the clock run out and the ball to hit the ground to end this overall match. But Jockstrot is going to try to keep it up in the air. Maybe are they going to try to do some showboating? They are, but the Phantoms are not going to let them have that. It's a little bit of a moral victory at the end for them. But overall, the Red Barracudas doing a very good job in that second match, are going to find themselves moving on to the finals. And those finals all part of the Esports Tower Rumble. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And where has that left all of us? Well, it leaves us with this final bracket, the Red Barracudas versus Bishop Kenny Esports. And this is going to be a great match to see, as we saw such great skill from both of these teams and a really overall dominant performance from both of these teams in their previous matches. So 2 very strong teams now go up in the finals.
Do you have any predictions to make about how this final game may go?
You know, I really wouldn't count out the Barracudas, not only because of the great rotations, but I've been seeing just a little bit more, how should I put it, sparkle in their ability to do those mid-air plays there in the final match. So we'll see how it turns out, but the Barracudas have my eye.
Okay, you know, I actually was going to side with the Barracudas myself as well, but I am going to take the opposing side and go with BK High School, not just because there is a BK High School also here, but because I always like to, you know, be the devil's advocate, and
Sure.
I want to see what this team can bring to the table, even if they don't possess that sparkle that you mentioned.
Well, Nerdy and I will be here to cover the match of the finals of the Esports Tower Rumble. Match 3 of the night is going to be coming up right after this short break, so please stay tuned.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
And welcome back to this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble, being brought to you from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artemis Nerdy Bird Rain, and this is going to be the grand finals of tonight's Rocket League Esports match between the Red Barracudas and Bishop Kenny. The overall event tonight that you have been watching is the Esports Tower Rumble Rocket League tournament, brought to you by Esports Tower. You can see this is going to be taking place every night, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern Time. That's where we are personally, Mountain Time, from 4 to 6, so just do the adjustments yourself. And the event tonight, of course, is going to be Rumble Rules Group Play Best of 3, 4 groups of 3 in round-robin group play. Top teams advance to the semifinals, but for the finals, it is going to be best of 5. So now we are going to see these two teams, which Nerdy and I were talking a little bit about before the break, just about the individual strengths of each team that we're seeing being brought to the standings tonight.
I think the ultimate deciding factor is going to be kickoff goals.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, Nerdy. That has been something, and I will say, I brought up something, a little bit more sparkle that I saw in the last match, but if Bishop Kenny has anything that could be referred to something like that, is their ability to get kickoff goals. They, when they went up in their semifinal matches, they were getting kickoff goals left of right, sometimes not even, letting you try to commentate, Nerdy. You'd say, okay, I want to focus a little bit more on Antioch right now. Oh, they scored another kickoff goal, Bishop Kenny.
That happens. It happens a lot.
It does, and we are going to see if Bishop Kenny can try to pull out some of those kickoff goals against their final opponents, the Red Barracudas, which did come from Group A. And we also, in Group A, just some of the teams that we didn't get a chance to see were the Southeast Gaming Gnolls, the Red Wolves, and Vipers. But as I said, this is a weekly event, so you can see all of these teams try their luck each week. I don't know if it will be the exact same teams, but teams nonetheless each week are going to try their luck in these weekly tournaments from Esports Tower Rumbles. As we take a look at the standings, we are indeed in the final match of the Red Barracudas versus Bishop Kenny Esports. That is going to be our matchup. Part of the Esports Tower Rumble. As I said, this is the Barracudas versus Bishop Kenny. And it can be a little bit difficult, at least from our local perspective, like I said, as you said, Nerdy, because we also have a BK High School here in the Treasure Valley in Boise, but it's just Bishop Kelly, not Bishop Kenny.
Yes, they're Bishop Kelly, but they're also the Bishop Kelly Knights, and the Knights, ironically, were my high school mascot, so that's even more in favor of me siding with Bishop Kenny in this case over the Barracudas. And one thing I'd like to throw out is everyone thinks Barracudas are scary and vicious. They're really not. They're actually blind. Well, they're very blind. They have very bad sight, so they're not that scary, and I have faith in BK to be able to come out on top.
It's all these freshwater fish and rivers that always get overestimated. Piranhas, barracudas. But that is a story for another day. What matters right now are Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, which are going to be to play fast, maintain side control, confident callouts, and oolay those demos. Brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And one of those teams that definitely has ranked up has been the Barracudas, who at least these Barracudas have proven themselves to be the more vicious version of the Barracudas that normally come into mind when we think of freshwater carnivorous fish.
I agree with that a lot. I'm trying to avoid my statement of I do agree, but I just said it anyway, so oh well. But within that regard as well, we will be doing this more than just today, as you mentioned, and I'm really hoping that even next week we're able to at least see one, if not two, of these teams again, so we can also watch how much they improve from each day that we are watching them, because after all, even though not all of these schools are part of Esports Tower, they are either in a team themselves with each other and have some sort of coach or are coaching themselves, but they still have the opportunity to VOD review, look back, and play together and improve, and so that is one of the the advantages to continually like rejoining us here and being here every Monday is to watch these students just grow as players.
And a lot of these games just kind of give the ability or features in them themselves, you know, even Overwatch with their highlights, even though they're so small, you can still find many creative ways to review your gameplay within reason and rule, of course. You should know as well as I, Nerdy, that sometimes companies can be a little bit odd on their copyright rules, so just, you know, always do the right thing and in the legit way, just try to find those VOD reviews and try to improve. And both of these teams, I would imagine, are going to try to improve after this match.
Yeah, the first thing I would like to improve is the amount of demolitions that we are seeing coming out from both sides. I don't appreciate that. I don't think it's metered aggression. However, there is a lot of passing happening despite these demolitions coming out. We've almost got a full minute knock off the clock, and not a single goal has been scored for either side. So both teams are showing signs of life right now and are going toe-to-toe as much as they can, as we see Ultra swoop in and able to just touch that ball past Yeezy to get the first goal of the game.
You can see right there some of that great aerial play, the sparkle coming through, but not from the Barracudas as I had predicted. That is actually Bishop Kenny with a great aerial shot on goal there. Gonna find the early lead, and now Yeezy gets the ball stolen away and pushed back toward the corner, and now here comes DNL. Is not gonna quite find it, so now Leem there is gonna pass it toward the shot on goal. Yeezy saves it and pushes it off toward the side. Now the follow-up here coming from Ultra, and Yeezy yet again being a great defense play, allowing that clear to now go into some offensive play for the Barracudas.
We did see off in the corner as the ball went down. We had Ultra just barely pop the ball up over one of the blue players in order to maintain possession of it, allowing DNL to eventually get this ball over to the corner. But Yeezy's just going to swoop in once again and knock it away. Leem's going to try and grab it, but DNL's also going to knock it down. They have the opportunity right now for the side of the Barracudas to get a shot on goal, but all of Bishop Kenny is down here, though not bunched up in the goal. They are in position to save the ball if need be, as we see Ultra go and try to prevent Queasy from getting that ball, but thankfully Leem's going to drop in at the bottom and just boop it over to the side.
And now 3 minutes left is going to find another goal there, and I don't think that was intended as a goal, just kind of as a general clear, but no one really at the goal at all. Completely open goal, just allowed that to trickle down in there and find themselves with a 2-0 lead.
That wasn't just a clear, that was totally a shot on goal from midfield, 100%. As we see this first kickoff go more in favor of the side of Barracudas, however, Leem's going to be able to get in there for the follow-up as well as DNL, so they've got two players down here trying to dribble this ball past Yeezy and Queasy. Oh, Yeezy and Queasy, that's adorable. Down here at the corner for the blue side, we've got Ultra also in the air waiting for the ball. However, it's just not going to do too much. We've got a lot of double commits coming out from the side of the Barracudas. We see Jockstrot right here able to snag that mega boost, and so he's able to bounce the ball over to Yeezy and keep it at the midfield. And it's just back and forth right now, Jem.
Back and forth, but still a little bit of a lead for Bishop Kenny that the Barracudas want to try to rectify, as some great dribbling up there from Queasy is going to allow Jockstrot to try to center it up. Queasy's waiting in the back, but gets played over by Ultra, so now Queasy has to fall back and now try to contest with him. Now Yeezy rotates in, tries to get the clear, but Ultra is waiting right there. Now over to Jockstrot, who drives up the center of the wall. Leem centers it toward the middle of the field where DNL is waiting with the pass over to Leem, and now it is in the corner yet again as they try to center it up right over Jockstrot. Yeezy comes in, tries to get the clear, but Ultra has something to say about that, and a shot on goal that is saved at the last moment.
I'm not going to lie, my heart was pumping right there, but now we've got DNO trying to get the ball from the midfield. However, there was a double commit coming out from one of their own teammates. I believe it was Lean, but Lean's just going to be like, okay, it happens. I'm going to send it back. We've got Ultra still waiting down by the blue goal right now, trying to bounce this ball away from all three players from the Barracudas. They managed to do it. Yeezy's now at the goal, but Leem and Ultra have both backtracked and are already in position to prevent that from happening. The rotations coming out from BK are very clean right now. We see DNL pick up that boost, while as the side of the Barracudas is lacking a little bit on their boost, and a demolition's going to come out, but they're keeping the ball on the side of Bishop Kenny as we're going down into the 1 minute remaining portion of this match. Jockstrad's going to knock that ball over to the midfield, but Ultra and Leem are trying as much as they can right now to just keep it on the side of blue and open up that goal to get an opportunity to score a shot.
And now 40 seconds left in the match as Queasy tries to push it up the field, gets interrupted by Leem, who now pushes it over toward the corner, and now DNL rotates in with the center, isn't going to find it. Queasy off the corner, 30 seconds left, is going to find the clear, and now can he center it up for his team or just do a shot on goal himself? It was heading right for the crossbar there before DNL came and put that high up in midair, and the ball is just floating right above Bishop Kenny's goal. Not for lack of trying from the Barracudas to get some goals, but it hasn't just worked out for them yet. As the clock goes down to the final 10 seconds, and this could be a goal right there. It bounced right off the crossbar, but no one was there to follow it up. Maybe right here, but it's not going to be enough. Just too little, too late, and Bishop Kenny is going to find the first victory in this best of 5.
Okay, so right in those final moments in my head, I was like, okay, what's the plan here if they do score the goal? So for the side of the Barracudas, they would have had to have scored that goal and then gone into kickoff and done some fancy tire work, not let that ball touch the ground, and scored another goal to tie it up to bring us into the golden goal opportunity. And I really hope that maybe this next match or the one after that, we do see that happen.
There is still plenty to happen as these finals are best of 5. And I think what the first game proved is we are not in the previous rounds because we are not seeing double-digit leads like we saw in one of the games in the previous rounds. 2-0 is still very competitive, so you can't count either team out at all. And I got to say, I didn't see as many double commits. I saw a lot more teamwork there. And Bishop Kenny giving the Barracudas a run for their money.
They are giving them a run for the money, and just a quick reminder to everyone who is watching, this is the Esports Tower Rumble. We are watching the final match of the evening between the Barracudas and Bishop Kenny High School, and we're going into our second match of that here very soon.
Yeah, second match with Bishop Kenny with 1 victory there, so not quite in reverse sweep territory for the Barracudas yet. They could even this up here and at least guarantee a game 4 for us to watch tonight. We are just going to have to see how the second match comes up. And what do you think is the biggest thing that that both teams can look to improve between these matches?
The one thing, they weren't happening as frequently as we mentioned, but it's still those double commits that are being the undoing for either team that are opening up the goal scoring opportunities that we did see that were capitalized on during that last match. So hopefully we'll see less of that going into this game too.
And now Jockstrad is going to very early in this game to try to push it over toward Bishop Kenny's goal. Instead, it's being pushed back up toward the Barracudas' goal. Ball now in the center of the field where Yeezy goes with the pass over to Jockstrad, but DNL is going to take it right away from him. And now the counterattack is going to go through onto the Barracudas from Bishop Kenny. In comes Ultra to steal it away from them. Both Jockstrad and Yeezy double commit in the air. And that is not going to be good for them as they are going to find the ball back in their territory. And Leem now centering it up, trying to pass it over to DNL to find a goal. No goal found quite yet as we're almost a minute into this match.
Okay, so you asked me earlier, I'm going to bring it up now. There is some boost starving that I'm not seeing happening that I want to see happen from both of these teams that would open up better opportunities for both the defensive and offensive attacks that they are trying to do right now. And so I hope they start incorporating that a little bit more, but Queasy is doing a great job of trying to corral this ball down and dribble it past the players of Bishop Kenny right now, as Yeezy is able to knock it down into the corner, but Ultra is going to be over there with a follow-up coming from Lean in the midfield right now, but he's not going to be able to completely center the ball, so Lean's going to have to just stay over by the goal as we see DNL also trying to get the ball in their possession, and it's going back towards their own goal, but Ultra's once again waiting down there, as well as Lean to send it back over to the corner.
And now we have 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the match. Still no goals scored for either team. Just kind of a huge departure from the rest of the tournament that we saw earlier tonight. And now DNL is going to try to change that, but it goes off the ground and up toward the crossbar and isn't going to find the goal. Now Queasy is going to try to recover from that. Instead goes over to pick up some boost. Now Yeezy is after the ball. Instead, Jockstrad actually is going to hit it toward the goal with the pass over to Queasy. Not going to find it, but the follow-up from Jockstrad is going to put the Barracudas into the lead.
That was some beautiful follow-up from Jockstrap right there. That crossbar for the last 3 shots on goal was everybody's enemy, so I'm glad that they made an adjustment and made sure someone was there ready for it to bounce back and just slap it right into that goal.
And I liked what I saw there from Jockstrap in that flipping to get to the kickoff a little bit earlier. Got them the overall lead in terms of the kickoff goal. Might pay off for them here to get another goal as they still maintaining side control. Queasy around the corner to center it up. You see Yeezy waiting to rotate in there. Now he goes in off the wall where Jockstrap is waiting, but DNL bumps right into him to stop that shot from going through.
Right now we've got Queasy trying to get a clean shot on goal, but it's going to be cleared out. However, Jockstrap and Yeezy are also going to rotate in to try and supplement that, but Ultra's going to knock it back. Yeezy's trying to maintain some control with the help of Jockstrap right here. We've got some fancy aerial work, but Ultra's just going to swoop in right above that and knock it away, as well as Leem from Queasy again, but we've got Jockstrap knocking the ball down back over to the side of Orange with Ultra trying to go toe-to-toe with them. It's open in the air. Yeezy's got possession of it, but he's being called out right now by Ultra, who's got now to dribble past 2 members of the side of the Barracudas and is managing to do it, but after all, sometimes you can't 2v1, and now Queasy's got an easy shot on goal, but it looks like the double commit coming out from the side of Bishop Kenny is going to prevent him from being able to do that.
And we're almost 90 seconds left in this match as the Barracudas hold on to a very narrow lead as the ball is now right up against their goal, and DNL is going to come through, but it's a little bit too high for him, not able to find, and now the clear is going to come, and that was almost a goal if not for Ultra with the save there at the end. Is now going to try to find a goal of their own as DNL is trying to find the shot. It's just going to be off to the left, and now Yeezy over the ball with Jockstrap rotating in. DNL manages to get a great takeaway from him, is going to keep the side control going for Bishop Kenny.
Yeah, and unfortunately though, for the side of Bishop Kenny, there is a lot of offensive life still showing for the side of the Barracudas. They did knock it back over to their side. However, Ultra, with the help of Lean, was able to knock it back to the side of Blue. We've got Yeezy and Queasy trying to get the ball over to the orange side, but they were kind of fighting over it, so it left the opportunity for Ultra and Lean to scoop it away from them. Queasy's just going to wait and chill out over here as we see DNL jumping over towards the left, stealing that boost away as well, so the ball is maintained. The ball possession is still in Yeezy's hands right now, bringing it down to the side of Orange. But we're seeing now double commits coming out from the side of the Barracudas, and that is not one of their strong suits when it comes to playing offensively.
And now Queasy comes in with the shot toward the goal, and it looked like that just almost had the right angle, but some demolitions are going to come off, give each team a little breathing room, and that was so close, and Yeezy came right in there just in time to keep the equalizing goal from being scored. And I have to say that save is probably one of the best plays of the game, because that allows the Barracudas to pull out the victory.
That was incredible.
That save, that kept them in the lead. That was so crucial at the end. Oh.
I don't like to use this term very often, but I'm pretty sure all of these players can relate. That was a sweaty palm moment for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. Even though we're not playing right now, the nerves are certainly on both of us just watching, so I can only imagine how exciting it was for the players. And now we've got a match on our hands. One victory for each team. We're going to at least be seeing a Game 4 in these finals, and that's just how we like it. More intense competition between these two teams. And in terms of what these two teams can show, we have been talking about side control. We have been talking about those big clears and aerial plays. One interesting thing to note is just kind of going to be how both of these teams can manage their angles, you know, especially in terms of those pinches when the ball is being contested. And we're going to see how that turns out right now, but you are watching the Esports Tower Rumble between the Barracudas and Bishop Kenny Esports in the grand finals of this Rocket League tournament. And sometimes being able to, you know, do some next level thinking, be able to work out all the angles of those of the ball as it gets pinched, can really, you know, lead to some very creative shots.
Yeah, creative shots. Some I don't know how to put it when you're just. I'm gonna leave that one out there and not finish that thought. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Well, right now, it's going to be Queasy in the center of the field with the pass over to Jockstrot. They're going to try to find the clear. Here comes the clear right over Lean off into the corner, and Jockstrot is able to take away that corner boost that might be just what they need, but the Bishop Kenny team isn't going to go down without a fight as they find the clear over onto the blue side of the field. Pass over to Queasy now, who plays over one, plays over two, and now is going to light it up for the goal. Is it going to go? And no! Oh, man, after seeing aerial control like that, I almost wish it was a goal.
Yeah, now we've got Ultra who's saying, oh, you can do that? I can do that too, managing to juggle over Queasy, but the ball's going to get knocked back towards their goal. Thankfully, DNL is going to knock it away towards the corner. They've got Queasy who's going to rotate backwards. Yeezy could not meet that ball in the air to snag it away. Thankfully, Queasy had made it back to the goal and managed to boop it away, but Liam also rotated down with DNL waiting at midfield for that pass back if it's needed. We've got Ultra now in possession of this ball against Queasy, but Queasy's just going to miss it. However, the rotation from Liam was clean. They weren't able to keep it out of the hands of the Barracudas, though. So Jockstrot has the ball at mid, but Ultra's going to knock it away towards the side.
Side control still going on for the Barracudas as no goal has been found yet with about 90 seconds into the match, 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. And now Yeezy might find the position here to try to get a shot on goal, but instead it goes off toward the right corner of the field. As Yeezy tries to do some sort of pass over to Queasy, then Jockstrot, and DNL is going to be the one to find the ball and get it toward the blue side of the field. A little bit of a double commit there. Might be finding the Barracudas in a sticky situation, but now they might try to turn that into a goal, but DNL is going to get there before they can.
We've got DNL and Lean over here on the left-hand side with Ultra swooping in from the mid, just able to knock the ball, but a little too far to the left. That crossbar is everybody's enemy, but can we get the follow-up right here from Lean? We cannot. Ultra's going to try to take another whack at that goal. Hits it too high. Is now going to do some fancy aerial work to try and get it, but Yeezy will knock it away. DNL is going to try to reclaim that possession, but Jockstrot is just going to dribble it right over them, so Lean's going to just knock it away from them to the midfield, but Blue is still maintaining a lot of possession, with Yeezy just scooping that ball right away from DNL.
And now DNL is going to be able to find a goal, pushing Bishop Kenny into the lead here, and that looked like it was actually kind of an open goal left out there after Jockstrot missed. Yeah, that was just a very quick punishment of that, getting the goal.
These Valentine's Day goal-scoring animations are adorable.
I have the feeling they might not be born out of real affection, though, if you're the one scoring the goal against the other team.
I believe that you are right, unfortunately, as we see Yeezy getting an opportunity to score a goal, but is going to be knocked out, and now Ultra is on the offensive right now. Queasy's going to try to knock the ball away, but it looks like DNL managing to keep that fight alive just a little bit longer with that. With Liam coming out with a demolition right now, we see a full push coming out from the side of Bishop Kenny right now to try and keep this ball on the side of the Barracudas.
Now ball's in the center with Jockstrot up, trying to keep control of it mid, and DNL misses mid-air. Ball gets pushed off toward the corner, but that looked like he might have been trying to go for a very stylistic dunk there. Instead, isn't going to find it, and now is pushed off over the side. DNL with the clear, and it's now just going to go through, trying to find the goal himself, and Yeezy comes in with the save to stop it.
And now we got Queasy pushing up with the ball, but it looks like Ultra just managed to knock it away from them, and DNL tries to go in to scoop it away, but can't quite find the tire on the ball right there. However, Ultra's just going to be doing okay over here in the corner going against Queasy, getting the ball away. Now he's got a battle pass. Never mind, doesn't have to deal with Yeezy because Yeezy has now been taken out. We've got Ultra trying to corral this ball down in front of the goal and hopefully get a clean shot, but now it is 3v3 as everyone has respawned. Now we've got Lean and DNL chasing back towards the goal to try and prevent an open goal scoring opportunity. And it looks like the side of Barracudas is going to manage to keep the pressure up over here on the side of Orange.
And a goal is scored, though, to stop that pressure in its tracks. The equalizer found with less than a minute on the clock. Right there, I believe that was Yeezy coming in with a very key goal there. Actually, it was... it was Yeezy there with the goal, able to find it. And it's definitely getting some high fives from the team there to keep the Barracudas in the match.
The early kickoff goal was rather 50-50. However, Blue managed to come out on top, so the Barracudas are keeping the pressure up on the side of the Bishop Kenny's half of the field, excuse me. However, we've got Ultra not letting up off that gas pedal and trying to maintain possession of this ball on the side of Blue. But Queasy's going to knock it down out of the air over straight to DNL, who's just going to send it to the corner. But Yeezy's there for the follow-up, as is, it looks like Ultra also bonked in there for just a tiny bit. And there is Lean once again trying to get this ball knocked away from the side of the Barracudas so that they can send it to the side of Blue.
And now the Blue side is going to keep it up in the air, try to go for the goal at the very end, and the Barracudas might have just pulled it out with seconds left on the clock.
Oh my goodness, all right.
Oh, that is clean. That is clean. That is such a clean rotation in there. Queasy over to Jockstrot, who finds it, and there's no time left on the clock. Now they just have to go for the kickoff. They're going to put 5 seconds left on the clock. Ball just has to hit the ground, and the Barracudas might have managed to take the victory away from Bishop Kenny in the latter half of that match.
Both teams are showing signs of life. Both teams have a sparkle.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for keeping the energy alive, and it is a lot of energy going on in these final matches. In this final match, as the Barracudas have reached match point to take the victory for the overall night, Bishop Kenny kind of sliding now. They had the victory for the first game, but now 2 victories in a row for the Barracudas.
Yes, and this is a best of 5, so it's that first to hit 3. However, if the next match goes in favor of Bishop Kenny, we will see a 5th game, which is what we always love to see here, even though it does tire out our players a little bit. We hope they got their respawn, they got juiced, and they're ready to go the full 5 no matter what, because we always expect it. Have that energy, have the sparkle with you 24/7, and let's see this go out to a game 5.
Let's see this go out to a game 5, as this is definitely what you would think of in a final match. There are no blow-away games. There aren't any 10-0 leads. It is both teams matching each other in skill. And one thing that I've seen in this particular final match, which is the Esports Tower Rumble, the Barracudas versus Bishop Kenny in this final match for the Rocket League tournament on this Monday. Thing that I've been seeing that I haven't seen in a lot of other matches, and that just kind of goes on to the general strength of these players now that we're seeing at this level, is I have been seeing some very impressive dribbles, both along the ground and in the air.
It's the air dribbles that are really getting me. They're beautifully pulled off. I have no idea how the heck to do them myself, so I'm thoroughly impressed from both teams right here. As we do see Yeezy and Jockstrot going into that early goal, and it looks like it just didn't fully cross, but it finally, the follow-up from Yeezy is enough to cross it all the way. Remember, this is traditional soccer rules. So the ball it's not in the goal if it only crosses the halfway mark on that ball. The entire ball must cross the goal line in order for it to be scored. And of course, it creates these very nerve-wracking moments, just like we just saw.
Very intense moments as the kickoff goes in the Barracuda's favor. Now DNL tries to get some sort of clear, and the ball is in mid-air off toward the trajectory where Yeezy was. Now it finds itself back in the middle of the field with Queasy fighting for it. It's now going to go up the side, off the ceiling, and down toward the ground.
If Ultra had just gotten that a little bit further, it might have just rolled into the goal on its own, but Yeezy was waiting right there, snagged it down, and is ready to follow up anything that's coming out. But Ultra's going to get a clean shot on the goal anyway, and that's going to bring us back to a tied score game.
And Ultra just came rushing in there, saw that Yeezy was trying to rush to get to the back post as the goal was left open for a huge amount of time, and was just quick enough to punish the Barracudas for overcommitting. And now the ball gets pinched off toward the side of the field, and now back toward the goal where Leem is waiting to find the clear. Now over to Ultra, going up toward the goal. Queasy pushes it off to the side. Now Leem rushing back towards the ball as it gets clear toward Bishop Kenny's goal, and is scored immediately.
I'm watching this replay right here. I honestly did not think that there was enough of an angle there for Queasy to score that goal, but they proved me wrong. That was nicely done, Queasy.
And now the kickoff goes toward the Barracudas' blue side of the field. And Ultra is now going to try to center it up for another goal, and DNL was waiting right there, but flew past it and isn't going to find the goal. But Ultra there with another follow-up is going to score the second goal of the night.
Okay, so we're still going back and forth, equal goals, both sides. Might as well be a 0-0 game. Both teams still showing their prowess, still showing off, getting some fancy tire work in there. I see you.
They see you indeed. So much skill on display now, and DNL is going to try to find a clear, isn't going to find it, so now Liam is going to rotate in with the pass over to Ultra, who finds themselves not the boost or angle that they needed. So now the ball is over in the Barracuda's side. Queasy trying to stop that clear from going through. Now in front of Bishop Kenny's goal, and the demo that came out from Queasy right there. That is a demo at just the right time.
That is mirroring your aggression right there, ladies and gentlemen. Rocket League players of the world, take note. That was sneaky, dirty, and that is how you need to play. I know it was mean, but that was clean.
I would feel comfortable saying that that is possibly the most perfect timed demo I have ever seen. That was so good. And now the Barracudas have pulled themselves into the lead. One goal for each player, actually, so evenly spread among all of them. And now Bishop Kenny has to try to equalize it again, getting themselves to 3-3. The Barracudas trying to stop that from happening, but the ball gets pushed over toward the side, so they aren't going to be able to find their fourth goal. And now the ball's in the center with Ultra pushing it towards, but Jockstrad is going to try to clear it out. Liam in midair stops that from going through. Now over to Ultra, who finds himself in the corner.
Liam is rotated up towards the side of blue right now with Ultra, while DNL is remaining at the midfield to try and stop any of those aggressive attacks coming out from the side of the Barracudas, and is managing to do so, knocking the ball over towards Liam. They're keeping the ball on the side of Barracudas. DNL has the ball in the centering it, but just gets knocked away from Ultra's goal-scoring opportunity right there. And now Queasy has the opportunity to shoot on the goal with the help of Easy, but it looks like Liam's going to manage to knock that ball to the midfield. Back over to Ultra, who's going to dribble it over the head of the Barracudas in for the third goal, and we are back to a 0-0 game.
And not just an equalizer, your ordinary equalizer, but that is going to be his third goal of the game. He's earned himself the hat trick and pushing Bishop Kenny back into contention for this final round. And now off the kickoff, is going to cheat it out from behind, and Jockstrad came in there with the save at the last moment to keep it tied up.
Yeah, but DNL's going to snipe that ball back from Jockstrap by knocking it over their head over to the side of blue, but Yeezy's thankfully going to be able to get into the air and knock it down. DNL is rotating back, leaving Ultra and Liam up towards the goal. He's coming in, seeing a goal-scoring opportunity, but just misses it over to the right onto the crossbar. It's now more in favor of Ultra and Liam to try and follow this up. Liam's going to wait in the goal to knock it away from Yeezy, preventing that one from going in, but there's a follow-up from Jockstrap, and it's just enough to score the fourth goal. And we've got under 90 seconds remaining, but there's only one score differential. It could go either way right now.
And that just wasn't that shot from Jockstrap. The dribbling that we saw leading up to that, followed by the pop off the roof, was so clean and put the ball in the center that just was asking for a follow-up. That now Queasy with the cheat off of the kickoff is going to find a goal to push them into a 2-goal lead in this game.
Did you see that? They knocked DNL in the air away from this ball to allow it to go in. Oh wait, not DNL. I think that's Lean right there. Yes,
yeah,
that was
Lean.
That moment. Liam, I'm with you right there. I probably would have mauled too. If you mauled, it's okay.
And now 1 minute 15 seconds left in this overall match. DNL needs to try to push some sort of pressure onto the Barracudas because they only have about a minute left to score 2 goals to at least tie and drive it towards a Game 5. But the Barracudas are making it tough for them. Less than a minute now in the match, and ENO is going to try to center it up for a teammate to come in. Here comes Ultra with the shot. Nope, off to the left.
Yeah, but before this rotation occurred, there was a completely open goal, and I do believe that B. Kenny realized that. However, they're letting this lead increase for the side of the Barracudas just a little bit too much. 3 goals is still something that you can attain within less than a minute. So, Bishop Kenny, I have faith in you. Pull it back, reel it in, score the the flashy kickoff goal if you must, please, kind of. As we see this first kickoff go more in favor of the side of blue. However, no one's there for the follow-up, so it leaves Ultra with the open opportunity just to dribble it back towards the midfield, but Queasy's going to be there to knock it in the air and show off their fancy aerial dribbling skills to score a 7th goal of the game.
Not only the 7th goal, but now Queasy has a hat trick for themselves as that amazing aerial control and that dunk right off the crossbar into the goal. Such clean play. And now Bishop County, 4 goals, 30 seconds. I don't know. They need some sort of kickoff goal here, and that's a good start. And now DNL comes rushing in. Can they get it? No, Jockstrad is going to steal it away, and with every second the Barracuda takes away from Bishop Kenny, it becomes more and more of an impossible prospect.
As they also had the demolition come out on Ultra, who is their main forward powerhouse, leaving them a little bit defenseless for a couple of moments. Now all players have respawned. They've got all 3 of them down here on their side of the field with less than 10 seconds on the clock. The only option here is to stop the goal. However, Yeezy's going to score that 8th goal, increasing the lead by 5 as we go into the less than 10-second zone. So if there is not a goal scored off kickoff, the side of Bishop Kenny is going to have to keep that ball in the air the entire time to score a single goal.
3 seconds left in the match, looking great for the Barracudas, who are going to take the tournament as soon as the ball hits the ground. But Bishop Kenny might try to show off a little bit. Actually, Easy is going to keep the ball. Are they going to try to showboat and get a goal at the very last moment?
They're showboating.
Are they playing with their food? Come on, okay, there you go. There you go. And a great victory for the Red Barracudas, who are victorious tonight in this week's Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League, winning the overall tournament and doing a great job representing the kind of play that can come from Esports Tower. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com, improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. We'll match you with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. It just goes to show you can get involved in esports from anywhere at any place, whether you're part of a collegiate team or not, and organizations like Esports Tower can help you achieve that goal. And a look back at the bracket for tonight overall. The Red Barracudas getting the overall victory, but Bishop Kenny put up such a fight, and especially in that last game. It was so even. Just those last few minutes, the Barracudas ran away with it.
I mean, you get a little bit gassed going into that last match. Your kind of the adrenaline's wearing off from the previous rounds. It's really hitting you how much mental brain power you're putting into these games, because it is mentally exhausting. This is very much so a very engaged form of gaming that requires a lot of brain power. That definitely can tire you out towards the end of the tournament. And so, if you slip up, you slip up. It happens. You just gotta GG, go next, and there's always another game to play.
And those other games to play are going to be coming to you next week, as the Esports Tower is a weekly event. Overall, looking back over tonight, we usually name an ICCU player of the game. And if I'm thinking back, there were so many good players, but I would have to lean it a little bit toward Queasy, not only because of the hat trick in that final round, but if I remember correctly, Queasy had some very key clutch saves there to keep the Barracudas alive.
I'm going to go with Ultra for basically the same reasons, but on the flip side, also because Ultra had some insane saves earlier in the evening that I don't want to discredit just because they didn't finish out how they had hoped to win that, how they had hoped to finish out that game. But Ultra definitely demonstrated their aerial skill, their shots on goal, their ability to do kickoffs, their metered aggression, though there was a lot of demolitions in that first match in the first couple of seconds coming from both teams. Yeah, we saw that. But my vote's gonna go to Ultra on this one.
In terms of demolitions, you couldn't have had that more perfectly timed demolition for that one goal. It definitely livened up the final match in a way we hadn't seen throughout the whole night. So a great job to both teams. I'm not sure if we will see a player of the game yet, but those are kind of our nominations, I suppose, Gem and Nerdy's nominations for the night in this overall tournament tonight. So as we prepare to close out the match and the overall night, are there any final big takeaways?
honestly,
actually, we are going to be going to break instead of closing out the night. We have some more up for you. So before break, I should say, do you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, honestly, to every player that played this evening, regardless of the outcome of the game, just give yourself 24 hours before you view the VOD and then go back and watch the VOD, because you have to let yourself decompress first. And always remember that at the end of the day, you need to focus more on your personal improvement than the outcome of the game, because that's what you have the most control over, and celebrate the victories that you get through that process.
Well, we are going to be going to a short break, but keep tuned, because that is not all that we have to bring to you tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Tonight's broadcast with the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League tonight, and we are going to be doing a quick review of all the reactions, stuff that we have shown you tonight in this overall tournament, including the player of the game and the top 5 plays of the game as well. To review it, I still have Nerdy with me, and we are now going to see whether our predictions on the player of the game had come true or not. If I remember correctly, I was going with Queasy, and you had also brought up Ultra.
Yes, and I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm sticking with Ultra.
Well, I would say the overall player of the game is not just going to be the player who could have made the flashy goals, but it's also the player who can make those clutch saves, and we might see one of those as we reveal the player tonight. Who was the player of the game in this Esports Tower Rumble? It looks like it's going to be Liam. Which Liam also had a lot of very impressive plays. All of the members of Bishop Kenny, I had to say, could have taken this because all of them were so good on their rotations and their shots overall.
Yeah, and I won't lie, hopefully none of the players take offense to us not mentioning their names prior to it being revealed. It is never a bad thing to not be the flashy player on the team, but rather be the facilitator and make sure that you have a strong foundation within your rotations and your callouts to follow up and help facilitate those people on your team that might be a little bit better with the aerial control or, getting better shots on goal. That is more than fine, and Lean definitely did that. They had a lot of coordinated pushes with their teammates as well as fantastic passing. So good on you, Liam.
Yeah, it really goes to show, when we can say any player can get the player of the game for the team, that's just the testament to the overall organization that Bishop Kenny had, which was one of their biggest strengths tonight when going up against their opponents, were the fact that they were just able to out-rotate and out-communicate. And all of their players were so accurate in their scores. I mean, just like an aerial angle, just like that, being able to get just sort of the right touch, just goes to show the skill level involved.
Yeah, something I will never, ever be able to get anywhere close to. So all of you deserve player of the game in my book, but we can only give it to one.
You sound like family members I have. You know what I mean? You win level 1 and they're like, well, I'll never be able to turn the console on, let alone win a level. So all of you are winners in my book. But all of these players definitely deserve a shout out for taking this to be involved in the game. Liam was your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Brought to you by ICCU, who believes a great team member makes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Liam was your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. And now, after the player of the game, we go on to close it out, as we always do, with the top 5 plays of the game. Any final notes at all, Nerdy?
Not really. Just that was fantastic, and I look forward to be able to cast next week's matches as well.
Well, you are going to be wanting to tune in every Monday for the Esports Tower Rumble to see more great gameplay. The top 5 plays of the game are going to be brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team to join out there. And we are going to leave you with those top 5 plays of the game as we close out the broadcast tonight. I've been your host, Jem. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a great week going forward.